Hey everyone, it's Shooter FPV, and this is part 4 of my Player1 Build Series. It's going to be the last part. What we're going to do is we're going to put the Vista in and just finalize the install, put the camera up front, top plate on, and just get everything buttoned up and together. And also after that, I'm going to use a Vifly short saver. Everybody should have one of these. They're super cheap, 12 bucks a piece, something like that. To test to make sure you have no shorts. You don't want this thing blowing up into a big, huge smoke bomb. So it's worth it to have one of these, and stay tuned to the end to see if I actually am successful or not. In saying that, let's get to the bench. Alright, so I'm going to show you a different way that I'm going to mount everything. I just kind of changed things up a little bit. I know the last video I had the crossfire receiver back here, but there are some 3D printed parts that you can mount the receiver differently. I showed the picture of it in that part 3A video, and I'm going to keep it that way. But what I actually did was, well, first of all, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. I'm going to keep this, I'm going to put the Vista in the back, keep this here, and I'm going to run the VTX antenna. It's going to come down and off to the side here. You can kind of see it's going to come through the side. And what I'm going to do is, because the Vista has the antenna like holder type piece, I'm going to bend it. I don't know if I can maybe show it to you this way. I'm going to bend it and put it like that. And it should fit. If I bring it up a little bit and twist it, I think it should fit there. And then the crossfire, what I'm going to do is, because the antenna, the Immortal T is here, I'm going to feed it under here because there's a lot of room. I don't think you can see under there. Maybe you can. So I'm going to let it float around a little bit under there, and so it's going to come straight through and then probably kind of bend around like this. It's going to come up, and then I'm just going to fold this over and plop it there like that. And I'll probably put some hot glue on top of that just to keep it from popping off. I mean, I know these UFL connectors, they're not really, I mean, they say that they're good, but they're known to pop off. So then what I'm going to do is I am going to take the camera wire from the Vista and run it under the flight controller, and it will mount up front. Now, even though flight controllers have plugs on them, it's always good to check the pinout because they could be different, and I'm glad I did, because the pinout for this and the plug that they give you with the Vista would have put everything backwards, and that would have been a mess if I plugged everything in. So what I had to do was I had to make my own. Well, actually, I could have just pulled the wires and flipped them, which is what I usually do, but the wires that came with the Vista won't be long enough for what I want to do here. So what I like to do is I get one of these things. What it is it's a pack of plugs. They're all different sizes, and they give you all different size wires. I've used a lot of this, so it's kind of empty, but as far as wires go. But this is great because you have all different size plugs, and you've got the wires that go in them. All you do is you just take this little the metal part, and just stick them in, and you got your own plugs. So that's actually what I did for this, because the wires weren't long enough. So now they definitely are, and I'm going to run the wires under this as well. And to lift this up higher, what I actually did was, and I'll plop this right off here. See these circles right here, these endpoints? What I actually did was, to lift this higher for the wires to go under, I actually printed another one of these and just clipped off the circles, and I put them here. So it lifts them up a little higher, because if this actually sits flat against the press nuts on here, so there wasn't really a gap for the wires to go through, because I need to have the cap, the Vista camera wire, and the power wires here, all that stuff, the TX RX wires, to go under there, and it wouldn't fit if it was just sitting flat. So I just used these to lift it up a bit, and it's perfect. So it fits right in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wire up the Vista, and that's pretty much it. That's all I really need to do. Just do the Vista, plug the antenna wires in, and then just put the camera onto the end here, and that's pretty much it. I don't have the goggles yet. I got the shipping notice today, so hopefully they'll come quick. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I got the soldering iron heated up. I'm actually going to untwist these watches. I'm going to make these a little tighter. I like to wrap these up pretty tight. And I'm going to give myself some slack here. You don't have to have too much. You don't want wires floating around like I had said before, but then what I'll do is I'll feed it this way, and so right about here I'm going to untwist them. And the way that this is going is that you got your plus, your minus, your RX and TX. And so for me, of course, the red, power, ground, and the TX is white, because you can kind of see. You can see right here, ground, T3, R3. So the TX is white, so that's going to go to RX, and RX is the first pad. You always do RX, TX, TX, RX. And so I'm going to see what I can do about snipping these the right length. So I'm going to do one at a time. Also, what I also did too is I'll show you this before I get this all wired up. Aluminum screws, little standoffs that I had extra from the flight controller. I know that they're M3 and these are M2, but it's still, they wiggle a bit, but it's good enough. A little nut in the bottom to keep it tight, and these are a little too long. You can see right now that they're just about even with the top plate that'll go on top there. But what I did was I added a nut to drop it a bit. And I just lost one of these. Actually, I lost two of them. Ah, they're there. Just to make them a little shorter. Let me just put these back on. Got everything hanging around here. So what I can actually do is, because I know that you got 1, 2, 3, and 4, so they don't all have to be. Yeah, actually, it doesn't matter. I don't have to get that down there yet. So actually, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay, these are all tinned up. Now, the task is to get it on the Vista. Because I want to go in on the side. Actually, I don't know why I'm making it so hard on myself. Because I can unplug this. And then I can just take this out. So, see, there you go. Alright, there we go. I had to use the pliers to kind of hold it down a bit. My helping hands are messed up, so can't use that. But that's alright. So, and so you can kind of see better here. You can kind of see what I'm going to do with the antennas. I'm going to put the antenna wire here up and around, and I'm going to take the crossfire, and what'll happen is it'll push a little like this, but there's a lot of room and it'll be fine. Alright, see, there we go. If this becomes a problem, I can just I don't know, I can do something with that, but yeah, see, so there we go. This can stay tucked in here. This fits really good there. So now what I'm going to do is with this, I'm going to snap this sucker here. There we go there. I'm going to put some hot glue on that. Now this, I believe it's a 1.5. Okay, that was a little harder than I thought it was going to be. It's not really the optimal place for that. That's probably why. That's why I had to lift it out there for a little bit to just get it in there. But it seems like it's going to be good. That's going to be good there. Got the camera going here, and I'll secure these with some lock nuts and put some hot glue there. And we'll put the camera on. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, I'll do all that and then we'll be right back. Alright, everything's buttoned up real tight. Got some lock nuts here and here on the flight controller. Everything's really, I mean, stuff's not going anywhere. Plus I got some hot glue on the UFL for the Immortal T. So I think we're ready to finish assembly. So let's get to that. All right, she is together. Looking good in purple. Might mess with the camera angle a little bit. I don't like it too high on the FPV camera side. I got 30 degrees on here, but I want to probably go 15 to 20 here. It's just how I fly. So, but yeah, everything looks good. And the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to throw on the smoke stopper and see if I got any short. It's the V-Fly or Vi-Fly, however you say it. It's smoke stopper V2. So alright, so we got power there. I'm actually going to go with 2 amp. I'm sure it's going to draw a lot of current. So, alright, here we go. Wow, look at that. Right off the bat. Gotta love it. Alright, so we're good. I'm going to turn this off. Pull the battery. And we are good to go. The only thing I got to do now, and I'll figure it out later, is I usually use an grip or a TBS battery pad here, sticky pad for the battery, so I'll have to just cut that out and put it down. Get a strap in there and ready to go. But yeah, so this is it. I'm not going to do the beta flight. It gets kind of boring. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with rates and all that kind of good stuff, but yeah, so we're done. So I just want to thank you for coming along on this build with me. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. And hopefully I can get it out in the air soon. My goggles will be here soon, so I can't use it until then anyway. So, but until then, stay safe, rip some packs, and we will see you next time.